ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां विद्ये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। You can repeat after me. वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते साधनचतुष्टयसम्पन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारम् वक्ष्यामः। साधनचतुष्टयं किम्? नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः इह मुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः? नित्यवस्तु एकं ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वम् अनित्यम्। अयमेव नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः। विरागः कः? इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम् शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः का? शमः दमः उपरमः तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति शमः कः? मनोनिग्रहः दमः कः? चक्षुरादि इन्द्रियनिग्रहः उपरमः कः? स्वधर्मानुष्ठानम् एव Titiksha ka.
Titiksha ka.
Shitoshna sukha dukkhadi savishnutvam.
Shitoshna sukha dukkhadi sahishnutvam.
Shraddha kidrishi.
Shraddha kidrishi.
Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishvasah Shraddha.
Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishvasah Shraddha.
Samadhanam kim.
Samadhanam kim.
Chittaikagrata.
Chittaikagrata.
Okay. So you can mute your mic now. In the last class, we saw the two disciplines in the Samadhi Shatka Sampatti. What are those two disciplines? Shraddha and Samadhanam. And today we will see Mumukshutvam. Though we have seen in the beginning, today we will discuss more on Mumukshutvam. In this set of disciplines, sadhanam, mumukshutvam is the most important discipline. Sadhana chatushtaya vishaye chaturtha sadhanam mukhya sadhanam mumukshutvam. That is, in this sadhana chatushtaya, the fourth discipline, mumukshutva, is the most important discipline. Though it is mentioned at last, it is the first requirement in terms of its importance. Ante vakshimane api mukyataya prathama sadhanam eva mumukshutvam. Without this discipline, we would not be knocking at the door of this spiritual pursuit. Therefore, this is an important sadhana. Etat kim iti shishyaha prachati. This Guru Shishya Samvadaha, right? Shishya asks questions and Guru answers. Now the Shishyaha Pritchati. Kim Pritchati? Mumukshutvam kim? Can unmute and repeat. Mumukshutvam kim?
Mumukshutvam kim?
Moksho me bhuyat iti ichcha.
Moksho me bhuyat iti ichcha.
Okay. Can mute. Mokshaha me bhuyat iti ichcha. What is mumukshutvam? Mumukshutvam kim? Mokshaha me bhuyat iti ichcha. Ichcha is desire. The desire, let there be freedom for me. Mokshaha me bhuyat. Let there be freedom for me. That desire is mumukshutvam. So mumukshutvam is an ichcha. It is a desire. What kind of desire? It is not an ordinary desire. It is a tivra ichcha. It's a very powerful desire. It is not just a passing desire or a casual desire. How do we know that? By the suffix, the tvam is added. The suffix in mumukshutvam, it points out that it is a tivra ichcha. What is that desire? What is that ichcha? Moksho me bhuyat. Let me have freedom. Moksho me bhuyat. Bhuyat. Me is to me. Mokshaha me bhuyat. Me is me, to me. Right? This madhyam me, asmat shabda, this chaturthi vibhakti, to me, me. Bhuyat. Bhuyat is, it's a vidiling. It's a vidiling. It's a type of lakara. Bhuyat. This vidiling, it is used in the sense of prarthana, prayer. So, moksho me bhuyat, that itself says that it has a prayerful sense. That moksho me bhuyat, it's a prayer. It has a prayerful sense. That is, you can know that from the verb bhuyat. Bhuyat is Vidyaling. Vidyaling is also used in the sense of prarthana, a prayer. So therefore, a prarthana is involved in this icha. It is it's a prarthana, a prayer is involved in this desire. So you pray to Ishvara for jnana. That is what it is. Why jnana? Because jnana will give you moksha. This has been kept in the mind very clearly. Therefore, the author, the Guru replies, Mokshaha me bhuyat iti icha mukshutvam. We have seen one discipline before, Vairagyam. You know what Vairagyam is? It was defined as Iha Swarga Bhogeshu Icha Ragityam. Icha Ragityam. That is, no desire for either for this world or for the life after this. Iha Swarga Bhogeshu, or the life after death, that is in the heaven. So, Icha Ragityam. There is no desire for that. It was, therefore, Vairagyam, it was a discipline, what we saw before. It was against Icha. Now, this sadhanam, this mumukshutvam, it emphasizes on Icha. That is a state of desireless but desired moksha. You see, a state of desireless but desired moksha. Is it not contradictory? We are saying Vairagyam and we are also saying mumukshutvam. Vairagyam is Icha Ragityam, mumukshutvam is Icha. Is it not contradictory? No, it is not contradictory. I hope you understand what I am saying. Vairagyam says Icha Ragityam and mumukshutvam says Icha Sagityam. So, these two disciplines, are they not contradictory? No, they don't contradict. We should know the difference between these two desires. Generally, a desire is for gaining something which I don't have it now. Right? So, Vairagyam is free from those desires. Vairagyam is free from those desires. Whereas desire for moksha is the desire to know the natural state of my being, knowledge of myself. The desire for it is like looking for a garland which is very well over your neck, but you look for it all over. That type of icha. So you may ask, why should I know my true state of being? Because I have wrong notion about myself. Therefore, I should know. I take myself to be just this body-mind sense complex. I identify with the pleasure and pain which I experience through my sensory organs, which is backed up by the mind. I want pleasure, sukham. I want to be free from dukkham. If you know that you are not just the body-mind sensors, which are perishable anyway, and you are the changeless Atma, not separate from Ishvara, who is Jagatkaranam Brahma, then you are naturally get freedom from the wrong notions that I am Sharira, I am this body mind complex only. You are free from that wrong notions and get ultimately Shantihi. So therefore, this desire, moksha, moksha icha, it is not in contradiction with the Vairagyam. How can you have desire for moksha? A desire doesn't arise for a thing which you don't know, generally. Generally, a desire for a thing doesn't arise in you which you don't know. A desire doesn't arise for a thing which you already have it. Right? There are two things. One is, a desire doesn't arise for a thing which you don't know. Number two, a desire doesn't arise for a thing which you already have it. Therefore, a desire for a thing which you know, but you don't have it or enjoy it now. You don't know Atma, but at the same time, you cannot say you don't know Atma. Saying I don't know Atma is like the sun saying that it doesn't have the knowledge of its rays. Therefore, what it means is that you don't have total knowledge of Atma. Because the knowledge of Atma comes only from the external pramanam. And getting exposure to pramanam is not a simple thing. It needs a lot of grace. Ishvara's grace is required. Therefore, I want to know the true state of my being. In and through all the pleasurable experiences of life, what happens is that the pleased self in me is invoked, which is what I am. The very fact that we avoid dukkha anubhava and seeking sukha anubhava reveals that we are searching for that which is already we are. Because no sukha or no shanti comes from any external objects. External objects or people or situations, they are only a condition. They are only a nimittam to invoke that pleased self in you. This is what the Yajnavalkya teaches Maitreyi in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yajnavalkya gives a long teaching to Maitreyi. Nava are patihu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya patihi priyo bhavati. Nava are jayayai kamaya jaya priya bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya jaya priya bhavati. Nava are putranam kamaya putraha priya bhavanti. Atmanastu kamaya putraha priya bhavanti. Nava are vittasya kamaya vittam priyam bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya vittam priyam bhavati. Nava are pashunam kamaya pashavaha priya bhavanti. Atmanastu kamaya pashavaha priya bhavanti. Nava are brahmana kamaya brahma priyam bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya brahma priyam bhavati. Nava are kshatrasya kamaya kshatram priyam bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya kshatram priyam bhavati. Nava are lokanam kamaya lokaha priya bhavanti. Atmanastu kamaya lokaha priya bhavanti. Nava are devanam kamaya devaha priya bhavanti. Atmanastu kamaya devaha priya bhavanti. Nava are vedanam kamaya vedaha priya bhavanti. Atmanastu kamaya vedaha priya bhavanti. Nava are bhutani kamaya bhutani priyani bhavanti. Atmanastu kamaya bhutani priyani bhavanti. Nava are sarvasya kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. So that is a love for the husband or for the wife or for the putra or for the wealth or for the animals, the cattle, which is also a source of wealth in those days. And also for the power, or also for the different loka, different devatas, even the love for your Ishta Devata, that love for Veda, Bhutas, Bhutani, the love for everything, he says, it is only Atmanastu. That love for that is nothing but the love for the pleased self. So, this fact, that love for the pleased self, that is what you are seeking for, it is revealed only by the Shastra Pramanam. The love for Atma, the desire for Atma, therefore, it is a peculiar type of Ichcha. So, therefore, it is not contradictory to Vairagyam. In fact, this Ichcha, this Moksha Ichcha can happen only because of Ishvara's grace. This Mumukshutvam, which is Mumuksha, which is derived from Mumuksha. Muktam Ichcha Mumuksha. Mumuksha is this desire for freedom. Tasya Bhavaha Mumukshutvam. That is the status of having the desire to be free. That is Mumukshutvam. This Mumukshutvam is the first step. The desire to be free. You want to be free. Okay, but what will you do to be free? Ichcha alone is not sufficient. Ichcha is there, but it is not sufficient. You should know that freedom is gained only by gaining Atmajnanam. Freedom is gained only by the knowledge of the self. Therefore, after Mumuksha, what you need is Jignasa. Jignasa is Jnatum. Jnatum Ichcha Jignasa. Moktam icha mumuksha, jnatum icha jignasa. So it's a very big thing, jnatum icha. First, you have the desire to be free. Then you have the desire to know. Know what? To know Atma. Because the knowledge of Atma only make you free. Therefore, after mumuksha, jignasa should follow. It's a very big step. If jignasa doesn't follow mumuksha, then what will happen? If jignasa doesn't follow mumuksha, then we will end up with the wrong teachers or the wrong teaching. Our spiritual freedom will be obstructed. When you come under the Vedic tradition, just mumukshitvam, really speaking, is jignasa, because the student has viveka and vairagya. So the student knows clearly for moksha there is only one way, that is jnana. This we have already established in the beginning. For moksha there is only one way, that is jnanam only. Moksha sadhanam jnanam. Jnanam is a means to moksha. It is not that jnanam is also the means for moksha. We don't say that. Jnanam is the only means. Jnanat eva kaivalyam. Kaivalyam means jnana. Kaivalyam means moksha. Sorry. Kaivalyam means moksha. Therefore, jnanat eva kaivalyam. Jnanam eva moksha sadhanam. If jnanam is also the means, then what will happen? Then the Shastram will lose its pramanatvam. We cannot say jnanam is also the means for moksha. Then the Shastram, it will lose its validity. This is against our Shraddha in Shastram. Therefore, jnanam is a means for moksha. So you must remember these steps. Now, the first step is the desire for moksha. Moksha icha. Second step, this moksha icha should be converted to jnana icha. And third step, this jnana icha should lead you to shastram. Because shastram is the only pramanam. Apaurisheya pramanam, shastra pramanam, that is the only pramanam. Fourth step is, how do you gain this jnanam? Shravanena jnanam. And jnanam eva moksha. Shravanam means, then Guru is important. You have to listen to the words of the Shastram through Guru. Therefore, Shravanam means Guru comes in. So these are the 4 steps. Mumuksha to jignasa, jignasa to jnanam, and jnanam gives moksha. This we must understand very clearly. There should not be any doubt in this. If mumukshutvam, the desire for freedom, if it is not converted to the desire for knowledge, then what will happen? Then the desire for freedom, it will take you for a ride. A person would have given up its normal pursuits. Dharmartha kama, he would have given up in search of the spiritual solution for this problem of samsara, bondage. And if he doesn't have this jignasa, then he may end up with following this non-traditional, imaginary, mystical path, which will not give him moksha. And those who are after that, they are after gaining experience of Atma. They want to experience the Atma. Because of wrong words, wrong teaching like this experience and all, they want to gain that experience of Atma. Atma experience is not a new experience. In fact, in the presence of Atma, only everything is experienced. There are even some sadhus who are distracted by such non-traditional teachings. In some ashrama, even they discourage us studying scriptures. They argue, by reading the books, what will you get? How can one get moksha by reading the books? You have to do sadhana, you have to do bhakti, you have to do karma yoga. All these things they say. This clearly shows they don't understand what Shastram is, what Shastra Pramanam is. So what happens in the process, they do a variety of things and they want to experience this Brahman, Atma. They keep on doing one thing or the other because there is a pressure to do some sadhana. And also they cannot do sadhana all the time. So they do a lot of things. Some people, even sadhus, they may start learning musical instruments like veena, music, because they don't have anything else to pursue. Or they may take to some yogasanas. Yogasanas are good, but they cannot change the vision of the samsara. The samsara will remain. So the person will not be free. Even if you do yogasana and the person may stand upside down in shirasasana, but it cannot reverse the vision. Yogasanas are good for the body, but it will not change the vision that the person will remain in samsara. He continue to be a samsari. He will not get jnana. Without jnana, how moksha is possible? Moksha is not possible. Some people, they argue that there are many paths to moksha. Like karma yoga will lead to moksha, bhakti yoga will lead to moksha, and they talk of so many yoga. Kundalini yoga is there, Nada yoga, Sahaja yoga, Raja yoga, Sudarshana yoga. They say you can follow any one or the many yogas, and also all the yogas, the combination of yogas you can follow, and they say you can get moksha. It's a stupid thing. It's a foolish argument. It is not possible. I'll explain how it is. If I want to see you, I have to use my eyes. I cannot use my ears or nose. I cannot use any other pramana other than my eyes to see you. If I want to listen to what you say, I should use my ears. I cannot use my eyes or nose. I cannot use any other pramanam other than my ears. With any amount of effort, I cannot see you with the nose. I cannot see you with the ears. Similarly, with any amount of effort, I cannot hear what you say with the eyes. I cannot hear what you say with the nose. Even if you try your whole life, it is impossible. You cannot do it. It is not possible even for Brahmaji. Even Chaturmukha Brahma cannot do it. Why? Because there are specific means of knowledge for gaining specific knowledge. Netram for darshanam. Karnam for shravanam. Nasika, nose for granam. Jidva for rasanam. Tvak, skin, that is for sparsham. These are indriya pratyaksham. We know that. Similarly, for all the other pramanams, they are meant for gaining specific knowledge. There are pramanams. A pramanam is, the definition of pramanam is anadikata, abhadita, arthavat, phalabodhakam pramanam. If that is so, for moksha, which pramanam will you use? If you have understood what moksha is, the nature of moksha, if you have understood what bandha is, the bondage, if you have understood that ajnanam is a cause for bandha, ajnanam bandha karanam, then what is the remedy? Only knowledge. Jnanam alone can give you freedom, nothing else. If ajnanam is bandha karanam, then jnanam is moksha karanam. What is the means for jnanam? Shastram. It is the only means. The knowledge revealed by the words of the Shastram alone can give you jnanam, and that is moksha. So all these discussions point out, when the moksha swarup, the nature of moksha, it is not clear. When it is not clear, then people take to various spiritual practices. We are not critical about various spiritual practices. Each practice has its own place in the scheme of things. We don't have a problem with that. But there must be an understanding of the purpose of everything. Swamiji used to say, if others criticize us that we are fanatic to say that jnanam alone leads to moksha and we are not accommodative in accepting other yogas, then we would reply that it is better to be a fanatic rather than a lunatic. It is not a question of fanaticism. It is not a question of being accommodative. It is a question of using our thinking faculty. It's a question of understanding the pramanam. Shastram as a pramanam to know the Atma. It is the only pramanam. We cannot have another pramanam to know Atma. It is not possible. Therefore, for moksha, what is a sadhanam? Jnanam is a sadhanam. And for jnanam, shastram. So therefore, we should not stop with the moksha ichcha. The desire to be free in the beginning is fine. But this desire to be free should be converted into a desire to know. That moksha ichcha should become jnana ichcha. That is the transformation. Moksha to jignasa. And this conversion is a must, because the desire to be free, it can take you all over the world without getting you anywhere near what you are searching for. Therefore, this must be understood very clearly. Moksha ichcha should be converted to jnana ichcha, jignasa. Okay. And now we know that all the human ends, human goals, they are called purushartha. We know that. That is manushasya sadhyam lakshyam purushartha. Manushyanam sadhyam lakshyam purushartha. Sadhyam, that is to be achieved, lakshyam, goal. That is called purushartha, we know. Purushartha means purushaha plus arthaha purushartha. Purusha plus arthaha purushartha. In the word purushartha, arthaha means it is the goal. Arthaha iti padasya arthaha sadhyam, lakshyam. So purusharthasya arthaha manushyanam lakshyam. That is human goals. Purushartha means human goals. And we know this purushartha can be classified under 4 categories. Chaturvidhani bhavanti sarvani manushya lakshyani. What are they? Te dharmaha, arthaha, kamaha, mokshaha. We have seen this in very detail in the beginning itself. Artha is translated as security. Kama, which is any type of pleasure, whether it is sensual or aesthetic pleasure, any type of pleasure. This artha and kama, these are the common pursuits. Samanya manushya lakshyam. And dharma, it can mean either values or can be any pursuit which is meant for gaining punya. You gain punya so that you will go experience sukham after death. That is dharma. Okay. Now, I need external security. Everybody needs external security. I need external security. This need in me, it confirms that I am not secure. I am insecure. The external securities, they are in the form of money, power, fame, name, influence, social status, etc. This insecurity, which is centered on the I sense, which is not on your body or mind, because one has a sense, I am insecure. It is not centered on the body or the mind. It is centered on the I itself. Therefore, the security should also be centered on what? I only. Unless I feel myself as secure, I can never be free from the sense of insecurity. This is where generally the people commit mistakes. Therefore, they try to make this I secure by adding so many things in the form of money, power, etc. But this doesn't work, because anything you add is also insecure. Because they are time bound. It doesn't make the person secure. Even though they give some relative freedom, say economic freedom, that is using money for gaining some physical comfort or for nourishing your ego. But the insecure person continues to be what? It continues to be insecure. Also, giving up all your wealth or power doesn't make you secure. Even sannyasa doesn't help you, doesn't make you secure. Or one may feel that it is not possible to secure here in this world But going to a place like Swarga, one can be secure. But heaven also doesn't give you security. Because the Shastra which talks about heaven, it also tells that heaven are insecure. Heaven is also another place which is also time bound. It is also a place to be reached after death. It is also time bound. So you have a beginning in heaven. If you have a beginning in heaven, then you will have an end also. Maybe the end may come after a long time, but it has an end. Therefore, heaven is also anitya. That also will not solve my problem of insecurity. Okay? And what about Kama? Kama Purushartha. Kama also doesn't solve my problem of insecurity and unhappiness. This we know. Now, therefore, we come to the conclusion that the first three Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, it doesn't solve the problem of insecurity. When one comes to this conclusion, then one may feel helpless. One may feel lost. But there is a way out. What is the way? That is the knowledge which is a solution to the problem of insecurity. It is available. Which is available in the form of Shastram. Therefore, this moksha is freedom from the sense of insecurity and incompleteness that is centered on the self, I sense. So, the mumukshutvam it's a commitment to freedom. And that freedom is not possible without the knowledge that self is already free. Atma nitya muktaha. Without this knowledge, moksha is not possible. That is why you love freedom. You cannot settle for anything less other than this. Even though you may achieve all the artha kama, but still you will feel insecure. Still you will feel unhappy. Because you want freedom. You want to be free from the sense of insecurity, and that is possible only by the knowledge that I am ever nitya muktaha. I am ever free. Over a period of time and by continuous struggle, this desire for freedom, this moksha icha, which was feeble in the beginning, like the manda icha, the moksha icha, which was manda icha in the beginning, over a period of time it becomes tivra icha. That tivra icha is, you see, mukshutvam. If this mumukshutvam is dull, it becomes tivra by the grace of Guru. The Guru's grace is nothing but the grace in the form of teaching, which takes care of the limitations of the person. And over a period of time, the mumukshutvam becomes more and more clear. As it becomes more and more clear, your vairagya also increases. The vairagya and mumukshutvam, they are connected. So vairagya also increases. When vairagya increases, it will in turn make mumukshutvam more and more clear. So you must understand that the gain of one is the gain of the other. In the tradition, an example of a person who has this tivra mumuksha is given. Suppose if the hair of the person is on fire, tapta shiraha. If the hair of a person is on fire, what will he do? The person will run all over looking for water source. He cannot simply sit and take rest. Even if the water is dirty, it doesn't matter to him. His only desire is to put off the fire. That such desire is for moksha. It is called tivra icha. It is not a desire in the form of let me have desire for moksha also. No. It is not that form of desire. This desire is only moksha, not also moksha. Puji Swamiji, you used to give an analogy. It's a practical analogy. When you go to the airport, in the departure lounge, you will find the flight board. Flight board will be there. Even in Chennai airport, you will find before digitalization. I'm talking about before digitalization. You'll find a flight board will be there. Probably now also it is there in Chennai airport. There you will find a list of flights which are for boarding or waiting for departure. It will be displayed on the board. So once a flight has, suppose it has taken off, then from that board, the flight name will disappear. It will move away. So so what happens is from that flight board moves up. When more and more flights take off, the flight board moves up and up. So now your flight. Now you are waiting for your flight. Now your flight is at the bottom. It has arrived, and slowly you will find your flight board will going up. Like now it is security check, then boarding. Slowly your flight board will move up and up, and finally your flight, when your flight take off, that flight board also will disappear from the board. Our moksha desire also is like that. Now, in the beginning, moksha is not there. The beginning of your life, you don't know what moksha is. Moksha is nowhere around in the beginning. When you grow and gain experience, when you face pain and pleasure, ups and downs in life, then you start thinking about it. Life teaches a variety of lot of things. Now your moksha ichcha is at the bottom of the board, and there are so many desires are there above. So as your desires, either it gets fulfilled or you yourself resolve the desires. So what happens is moksha ichcha board, it slowly climbs up. Finally, when it reaches the top of the board, then there is no other desire left out except moksha ichcha. Then what happens? It takes off. So the person is fully then dedicated to the study of Vedanta. So therefore, when moksha is your priority, then what happens? All the other things, it will subserve it. It should subserve it. Moksha should be the priority. Because in and through all the purusharthas, dharmartha, kama purushartha, what you seek is what? Moksha. That vichara, which we have done before, it referred to the previous class, we have done that, which is called purushartha viveka. When your purushartha viveka is clear, then moksha will be at the top of the board. Moksha becomes your priority. Other things which are there in the priority, but moksha will be at the top. That's why they say moksha is a very jealous thing. It doesn't allow anything to occupy its place. It should be at the top. But why people don't have this desire for moksha, desire for freedom? See, if we are slaves to our life experiences, samsara, if you are bound by the life experiences for some time, then after some time we get used to that. We don't bother about it. Even we don't recognize the problem of samsara because we live in that. We are not aware even that our sukham is conditional. Our sukham depends on so many factors. We are not aware of it. This dependence on conditions to be happy is so natural that we don't mind it, or we are not even aware of the fact that we are dependent. Either we know this and live, or we do not know and live. This is how people live in the world. Now, once you have gained viveka and viveka born vairagya, then what happens? Then desire for moksha, freedom, becomes natural. So, in the tradition, in the Vedic, the person coming under the Vedic tradition, if the person lives the life of dharma, then the person naturally develops shama, dhamma, all the qualities he develops. He gets a certain mental composure. But those cannot produce moksha. For that, what is required? Mumukshutvam is required. How to gain mumukshutvam? It is possible only by viveka and vairagya. Even you live a life of dharma and gain all the qualities, that viveka and vairagya also it is required. That person gains when he lives a life of dharma, when he faces a life experiences, and the person has the other qualities, so he develops gradually Vivekam and Vairagyam also. And by developing more Viveka and more Vairagya, the person gets Mumukshutvam. So that is, therefore this Mumukshutvam, it is the most important quality in the sadhana chatushtayam. Though it is mentioned at last, but it is the important quality. In the tradition, that is why the 4 ashramas are given. First ashrama is Brahmacharya ashrama, then Grihastha ashrama. Grihastha ashrama, at the end of Grihastha ashrama stage of life, then the person develops it in Vairagya, Viveka, then he goes to the Vanaprastha ashrama, then from Vanaprastha ashrama, he is totally committed to the Moksha Purushartha, that's the pursuit of Jnanam, he takes to Sannyasa. So it is a beautiful vision, beautiful way of life, it is presented by the tradition. Okay, so the only way to develop Mukshutvam is more Vairagya and more Viveka. Viveka is there, Vairagya will be there. Vairagya born out of Viveka. So this is how the connection is. Vairagya is preceded by Viveka. By increasing Viveka and Vairagya, your Mukshutvam will increase. It will be clear. Mukshutvam will be clear. Okay. So this is the last discipline in the sadhana chatushtayam. Okay. So with this, in the beginning there was a sentence. The author said, sadhana chatushtaya sampannani. Sadhana chatushtaya sampannadikarina. Disorder, right? So that sadhana chatushtayam, that word has been described now. Now comes the next text, next sentence, not text, next sentence. After the briefing what sadhana chatushtayam is, then the author says, etat sadhana chatushtayam tataha tattvabodhasya adhikarinah bhavanti. It's okay, I've asked you to unmute and chant with me, doesn't matter. Etat sadhana chatushtayam. These are the 4 disciplines, 4 sadhana. Tataha tattvabodhasya adhikarinah bhavanti. Thereafter, they become qualified persons for this Tattva Viveka. That is, its discriminative knowledge of truth, Tattva Viveka. In the beginning, the text started with Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannadikarinam Moksha Sadhana Bhutam Tattva Viveka Prakaram Vakshyamaha. In that sentence, we have discussed the first word in the sentence. That is what Sadhana Chatushtaya. And Sampannadikarinam is that. Who is the Adhikari? That also has been decided. They are the ones who are endowed with this sadhana chatushtayam. So for those Adhikaris, the author says, they will talk about Tattva Viveka. Tattva Viveka will talk about, which is the means for moksha. The sadhana chatushtayam itself will not give moksha. What will give then moksha? Tattva Viveka leading to jnanam. That will give moksha. Therefore, the Tattvabodha is only Tattva Viveka. If the qualifications, if the disciplines are lacking, then still Tattva Viveka has to be done. Because these qualifications will be gradually gained. As you do vichara, all the qualifications which we lack will be gradually gained. So, all the time keeping in mind that when we do vichara, the qualifications what we lack, that also can be gained by self-introspection. We know what we have, we don't know what the qualifications we don't have. So, we'll try to develop those qualities. So, the vichara helps in developing the adhikaritvam. Shastra vichara helps in developing the adhikaritvam also. Okay. So, And in the discussion, in the Tattva Viveka, all the time this is kept in the mind. What is that? That moksha is not after death. Moksha is now. Moksha is here. So therefore, Tattva Viveka to be done. By Tattva Viveka, you gain knowledge, and knowledge is nothing. That is a means for moksha, and moksha is not after death. It is right now, here. Therefore, Tattva Viveka to be done. Now, in the beginning sentence, the Tattva Viveka Prakaram Bhakshyamaha was there, right? That Tattva Viveka is now taken up for discussion. You must note here that in the Vedanta study, we will not get into Karma Yoga or Sadhana Chatushtaya discussion in detail. Not even detail, we don't discuss at all. Because an Adhikari, a qualified person, generally gets into the study of Vedanta. Yeah, an Adhikari doesn't need Karma Yoga. Yeah, he doesn't need any religious discipline or Ashtanga Yoga, nothing. Because he is a qualified person, Adhikari. That is why in Tattvabodha we don't find discussions on Karma Yoga, Japa, Puja, like this thing, like in the Gita. They are taken for granted. But since we have no Adhikari nowadays for Vedanta study, so we need to talk about that also. How to gain those qualifications, how to develop Vairagya, Viveka, Mumukshutva. So all these things have to be talked about. That is why we discussed in detail this sadhana Chatushtaya. The qualifications were defined, and also how to gain those qualifications were also discussed. So now the author will get into the inquiry of Tattva Viveka. That is the whole text. Now we are getting into the real inquiry, which starts from the next sentence. Tataha Tattva Vivekasya Adhikarinah Bhavanti. Bhavati is there, Adhikarinah Bhavati. That Tattva Viveka will be taken for discussion that we will do in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi
Om.
Thank you.
Thank you.